Once, a long time ago, a very wicked hobgoblin made a magic mirror that had the power of making everything good or beautiful shrink to almost nothing. But everything worthless or bad was magnified 10 times. All who went to the demon school talked of the wonders they had seen through this mirror and declared that people could now, for the first time, see what the world was really like. They carried the mirror everywhere. They even flew it up into the sky to see the stars. But the higher they flew, the more slippery the mirror became. At last, it slipped from their hands and broke into 1,000,000 tiny fragments that scattered all around the world, piercing people's eyes and hearts. They started to see everything the wrong way because even the smallest piece had the same power that had once belonged to the whole mirror. But it was even worse when a fragment entered their heart, for it became cold and hard, like a lump of ice. At all this mischief, the wicked demon laughed till his sides shook. There are still some of these little fragments floating around in the air. And now you shall hear what happened with one of them. In a large town full of houses, there once lived 2 poor children who loved each other very much. They stayed in 2 adjoining attics under the roof of a very tall house. Their names were Kay and Gerda. In the summer, they loved playing quietly together under a large rosebush that grew in a wooden box under their windows. But in the winter, all this pleasure came to an end. "Look, the white bees are swarming," said Kay's old grandmother one night when it was snowing.
"Do they have a queen bee?"
asked the little boy. "Sure, she is flying up there where the swarm is thickest. She is the largest of them all. Often around midnight, she breathes her frosty breath on our windows. Then the ice freezes into wonderful shapes that look like flowers and castles." "Can the Snow Queen come in here?" asked the little girl.
"Let her come,"
said the boy.
"I'll put her in the warm stove and then she'll melt."
The grandmother smoothed Kay's hair and told them more stories. That evening, Kay was looking at the falling flakes when one of them sparkled as if alive. It grew larger and larger until it took the form of a lady dressed in an icy white gown. Her eyes sparkled like bright stars, but there was neither peace nor rest in them. She nodded toward the window and breathed frozen air. The little boy was frightened and sprang from the chair. The next day, Gerda and Kay were playing outside when dark, billowy clouds covered the sun and an icy wind began to blow.
"Something has struck my heart and there's something in my eye,"
cried Kay. But when Gerda looked at his eye, she could see nothing.
"I think it's gone,"
Kay said, but it was not gone. It was a shard from the magic mirror that pierced his heart, which very quickly turned to a lump of ice. Kay had changed. He would tease everyone around him and spend all his days playing with the boys in the snow-covered square. leaving Gerda all alone. The boys would often tie their sledge to the wagons of the country people and get a ride. This was magnificent fun. One day, a great sleigh came by. It was all covered with snow and ice, and Kay fastened his little sledge to it. Off he went behind the large sleigh. Faster and faster through the streets of the town. Then all of a sudden, the great sleigh stopped, and the driver rose up. Amid a whirlpool of snowflakes, Kay saw a beautiful lady, tall and white. It was the Snow Queen. She was so beautiful, Kay could not imagine a lovelier face. As he sat next to her, all his fear left him. Soon, they were flying. They flew over woods and lakes, over sea and land. Below them roared the wild wind. Wolves howled and the snow crackled. Above them flew the black, screaming crows, and the moon shone bright and clear.